Guys, my premium noise cancelling headphones have finally arrived. Why does this looks like 10 ringgit pasar malam version?
Try it.
I can still hear everything.
Congrats, you just got legally scared. Yes, this is exactly what contract law is designed to deal with.
And now, the real question is, can Yosh cancel the contract, or is he stuck with useless headphones and only get money compensation? And more importantly, would the answer change in the UK versus Malaysia? Let's find out. Before we compare, we need to understand one thing clearly. A contract of sales of goods is not just about buying stuff. It creates legal obligations on both buyer and seller.
So under Malaysia SOGA, which is Malaysia Sale of Goods Act 1957, the law implies certain terms into every contract, even if you don't write them. So these are called implied terms. Let's break it down simply. We have two sections. We have section 15, we have section 16. For section 15, it is sales by description. If you order premium headphones, so the goods must match that description, right? For section 16, it is quality and fitness. So the goods must be merchantable quality, means it is in acceptable standard. And it must be fit for purpose. That means must work as expected. Now, here's the most important concept in Malaysia. It is condition versus warranty, and this determines your remedy.
Explain it like we are 5.
Okay, so basically, condition, it is a big promise. If broken, you can cancel the contract. But for warranty, it is a small promise. If broken, only money compensation. So in your case, since he get a fake headphones, it's already breach of condition. So he can reject everything.
Now, in the UK, it looks similar but actually more advanced. Under UK Sales of Goods Act 1979, the law uses satisfactory quality instead of merchantable quality. This is implied under term section 40, meaning it's applied automatically even it's not written in the contract. This is broader and more modern. The code will consider few things such as quality, durability, safety, and appearance. So it's more consumer based. The standard is based on what reasonable person would consider acceptable. But here is the twist. UK courts don't always strictly follow condition versus warranty. Sometimes they look at as the buyer used the goods, is the defect serious or would the cancellation be unfair? These reflect a shift from strict rule to a more context-based approach in modern contract law.
So UK law is like more chill?
Well, it's not considered chill, but lean towards more flexible and realistic. It focuses more on fairness rather than strict legal classification.
Okay, now let's sound a bit more like a law student.
Here are key legal authorities that you can actually mention in your group assignment. Whereas primary sources are Malaysia for Malaysia, Sales of Goods Act 1957, and for the UK, Sales of Goods Act 1979. So these are the several cases that we can actually reply under to.
Alright, let's explain some cases. Let's pick Billy versus Taylor. So in this case, it is actually a car was sold in one model, but actually it is a mixed part. So the court already said it is a breach of description.
France versus Australia knitting mills. Buyer got skin allergy from clothes, but the court rules as not fit for purpose. This case established that fitness for purpose apply when the buyer relies on seller's skill or judgment.
So courts don't just read contracts, they look at real life impact. Time for debate. Malaysia versus UK. Husna defend Malaysia, Vida defend UK.
Personally, in my opinion, Malaysia have a better law because it is clear and predictable. Businesses know exactly what happens and it has less confusion in court. So this is important in commercial transaction.
But that also is a weakness. It's too rigid. In UK law, judges can adapt to real situation, more fairness, and better protection for consumers. This is especially important in consumers protection cases, where strict rules may cause unfair results.
But wait, if it's too flexible, won't businesses feel uncertain?
Yes, but that's why UK law balances it with case law and precedents. Precedents ensure consistency while still allowing flexibility.
In Malaysia, we don't need that much interpretation because the act already tells you clearly.
So the conclusion, Malaysia equals certainty, UK equal flexibility.
Let's make it more realistic, like an exam question. For an example, a Malaysian company imports cocoa powder from a UK supplier, which is based on contract terms, which is payment before delivery, goods described as high grade cocoa. But the problem is, goods arrive moldy.
Right, let's explain it step by step. So if the goods don't match the quality, it is already breach of condition. So the buyer has right to reject goods, terminate the contract, and then claim damages. It's very straightforward.
Now in UK, yes, breach exists, but courts also check did buyer accept the goods, how serious is defect, and can the goods still be used. The outcome may be few things such as repair, price reduction, or damages instead of termination. This sometimes refers as a proportional remedies or solution that must match the seriousness of the breach.
So same problem, different outcome. That's the whole point of this podcast.
Okay, audience, round 2. You brought 100 laptops, 10 are slightly defective but still usable. Do you reject all goods or do you accept and claim damages?
In Malaysia, it is depends if the breach is condition, but most likely is A, which is reject all goods.
More likely would be B.
Congrats. Now you're thinking like a lawyer. Real talk, how do businesses avoid this problem?
How do businesses avoid this problem? They put clear quality clauses.
Add inspection right before acceptance. Compare jurisdiction Malaysia versus UK differences.
Okay, for refund and replacement terms, usually they offer refunds or replacement for defective, damage, or incorrect item within several days of delivery. Items must be unused in an original packaging. Proof of purchase is required. Refund process will be going on with the original payment method. Shipping fees are non-returnable or non-refundable unless the error is on our side.
So don't rely 100% on the law, control the contract. Final takeaways. Write this in your exam.
Your answer must have description, quality, and fitness, which is identify the implied terms.
Remedies depends on classification and context, means the solution provided such as refund, replacement or repair is determined by the type of issues. For an example, defective item, wrong item or change of mind, and the specific situation around it.
Bonus, always relate to real life example.
So next time you shop online,
issue is not fake.
And check which law protects you.
Because in law, same, but very different. Thank you for listening.